Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Owen. Thank you for joining today. I'm excited to have you. This is a big deal. This is a good friend of mine, my brother, and a very visionary entrepreneur and healer, Core Elements. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
Awesome. I'm excited to have you here. I know that there's been a lot to talk about in the last several months for sure. And uh, Core is the founder of Her Herbs for Humanity, and I'm going to let him tell you actually a little bit about that. What exactly is Herbs for Humanity?
So, Herbs for Humanity, I guess the best way for me to explain it is my story, which is I was experiencing this depression. It was really, really intense. And by a sign of grace, I was able to come out of it without the use of pharmaceuticals. And I knew I just didn't want to take pharmaceuticals. That wasn't the way. Something was telling me, like, I didn't need pharmaceuticals. There was an alternative, natural path to healing. And so one day I happened to be mentioning it to just a random person, how I had been feeling like this depression, overcome with depression suddenly. And then some man out of the corner was like, "Hey, sounds like you need some herbs." I was like, "What?" And I go to him and I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Yeah, herbs. They help fix it." And I'm like, "Well, where do I get these herbs?" He said, "I have a company. I sell these herbs." So he gave me these herbs, and I take these herbs, and within 3 days, I started feeling better. I started feeling healthier, more positive, like less of the noise and chatter in my brain, and more energy. Like, I started exercising again. So I called up the man. The man's name is Mark James Gordon. You could check him out, markjamesgordon.com. And he was like, so I have this company and they sell these herbs. So I went back to him. I said, "Hey, we need to get these herbs out." And he said, "I can't do it. I don't want to do it right now. I'm way too busy." And I just kept hounding him, literally for a year. I kept bothering. "We got to get these out. We got to get these out." Finally, one day he's like, "Okay, fine. I don't want to do it under my brand. I'll give you the formula and you can sell them. You create your own brand and you sell them yourself." And that's what I'm doing.
Wow, awesome. So how has that been going since you got these herbs, you got your hands on them, and put them together? Like, how has that experience been for you of putting that all together?
You know, the reviews that I've gotten are amazing. Like, it did for me, for the people who I've been selling them to. First thing that I did was I called everybody I knew and I said, "You got to try these herbs." And for some people, I sent them free samples. For other people, I asked them to go on my website if they had the money. But if they didn't, I sent them free samples anyway. Um, and one person, I wish I actually had the quote on hand, but he said something to the effect of, actually, I'm going to find it in a minute. Actually, let me see if I can find it right now. I'm going to find it.
Sure.
Let's do it. Uh, it's going to be very easy. Hold on. Here we go. Here we go. It is right here. This is my favorite review ever. And so the question was, what did you think raise your vibration meant after you tried it? Because that's my tagline. It's like, it shows you how to raise your vibration. And his response was, "It took a few days, but then I got this image in my mind of that scene from the original Lion King near the end, where everything in the valley is all dark and dead, and then Simba becomes king and all the grass turns green again. Rivers start flowing, trees spring back to life, animals start playing, and everything is back to the way it should be. So essentially, I think raise your vibration means to me to restore everything's natural balance and improve everything to a more positive state. Even though I didn't feel like I needed to be raised before trying it, now that I've experienced the after, I realize I was not at my best before."
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's amazing. The idea of death into life, like that sounds incredible. So, let's talk about for a second then what does raising your vibration actually mean, and what indications might I or anybody have that I might need to do that?
So vibration. Vibration is frequency. And actually frequency resonates at, it's measured in hertz. You know, like actually an earthquake is measures at 1 hertz, the rumble, the low rumble, whereas most music you hear is operating on an A, a B, a C, a D, and those all have their frequencies too. And most music that we hear is tuned to A at 440 hertz, which means absolutely nothing to you. I get it. But what I will also say is that light is also operating at a frequency. Ultraviolet waves are also at a frequency. So the frequencies are also oscillating at a vibration. So what vibration are you emitting? And if you think about it, all of your cells in your body also vibrate at a vibration. So the oxygen that each one of your cells operates on is firing off and producing light. Now, maybe this isn't like the best scientific explanation, but at some point you are literally a being of light because your oxygen cells are firing every second. The trillions of cells that make you up are burning oxygen. So, like your vibration, the heavier, denser foods that you eat, like dead meat and like dead foods compared to live foods, can lower your vibration. It's like when you eat turkey after a Thanksgiving meal and you're just like, ah, right? And you take a nap. Whereas you eat some, like, you have a smoothie or some fruit and you feel energetic, clearer, better. And if you don't believe me, try it. Next time you're feeling like absolute crap, like go make yourself a smoothie. Put some fruit, some spinach, some coconut water in that smoothie. Drink it, blend it up, and down it. And I guarantee you, within 20 minutes, you'll be feeling a little bit better. So, raising your vibration. Essentially, raising your vibration means when you're feeling in a low state, helping you to get to a higher energetic state from dense to light. Did that help?
Yeah, absolutely. So if I'm just generally feeling like stuck or maybe even sad or depressed or low energy or what have you, like that's an indication that my vibration might be low.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And your
Gotcha.
vibration can always be higher. You can always raise your vibration. Actually, I'm gonna bring some Tony Robbins in here because
Yeah, please do it.
I just did one of his UPW, Unleash the Power Within, and basically what he says is that there's 3 things that get you to success, and they're 3 S's: strategy, story, and state. And so your strategy, everybody's got a strategy, right? And you could have the best 1,000 strategies for losing weight, but if you don't have a good story as to why you're doing it, you're not going to do it, and it's not going to get done. So story is second important, and then the third most important thing is your state. Like, what is your mental state? And you have to get yourself in a peak state. And so that's why you'll see, like, fighters, before they fight, they're like, ah, ah, and they start making all this noise and they start raising this vibration. And if you even just try it at any time, raise your vibration and try to get your peak state up, you would raise your vibration just like that. I don't even know whether or not you actually felt it just in that moment as I'm raising my vibration, but you can raise your vibration intentionally. So, just as an example.
Got it. So like another benefit of raising your vibration then is it makes it more likely that you'll accomplish what it is that you've set out to do. And you say it's that force that helps you get stuff done.
Yes. Yes.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So tell me a little bit then about how do your herbs come together? How do you put them together? How does this all work to raise your vibration? How would somebody use
All
that?
right, so I'm going to be honest. I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, it's magic. You know, like this man gave him to me, Mark James Gordon. So I just pass him. I'm going to pass you to him. If you really want to know how these herbs work, you're going to go to markjamesgordon.com. He's got a website. You can go online. You can become a member, and it's I think it's like $5 a month to get the membership, and he has all this information about detoxification and the process of detoxifying. What I can't tell you is this. What I can tell you is that there's the SAD diet, the standard American diet, and then there's also the sun diet, the sync up to nature diet. And so the standard American diet is designed to feed you stuff that makes you sick. Like, come on, hamburgers, McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken, Taco Bell. None of it is good for you, right? But you find it everywhere. And how come a Big Mac meal costs more, costs less than an actual salad? If you go buy a salad, then it's like, you know, you're gonna pay more. So point being is that that's my homie Mike right there, MC Cook in the background, and so basically there's got to be something where the system is designed to make us sick. And so one of my missions, which we haven't gotten to yet, is to help people feel better, to just physically feel better, because when you start feeling better, you can operate better. And so detoxifying yourself in your gut. Oh, okay. There's so much to talk about. Mucoid plaque. There's a thing called mucoid plaque. And in your gut, the mucoid plaque that's in your gut prevents your actual intestines from digesting food properly. If you've ever been to Panda Express and like noticed the film on your teeth after you eat, like, that film that's on your teeth goes all the way from the rooter to the tutor, and it's lining your intestines, your esophagus, your stomach. So all these processes of I didn't tell him that I was doing a work call. This is Ward right here.
Hi,
Yeah,
man?
for his 30-day challenge. This is going live in a couple of hours.
It's live right now.
Yeah, it's live right now.
It's
All
live
right.
right now.
Well, hello. We are live on Facebook. And so, mucoid plaque. What mucoid plaque does is it prevents your body from properly digesting food. So, some of these herbs, what I do know, for example, one of the ingredients is cayenne pepper. What cayenne pepper does is it starts breaking down that mucoid plaque primarily, and then the other herbs are digested in your body, and you get to feel the strength of those. And there's some of the herbs, again, Mark James Gordon came up with the formula, and he told me to run with it. And so go to him.com. But what he explained is that a lot of these herbs target different areas of the body, like the adrenals, the kidneys, the skin, the thyroid, the thymus, the pineal gland, and allow your body just to have a little bit of a glimpse of how you can operate better. And so essentially, one of the names that I wanted to call this tea was Gateway to Wellness, because it's like a gateway to getting well. But, Herbs for Humanity kind of just rung a little bit better.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. So you talk about the SAD diet and the standard American diet and the things that we eat, right? And we always have issues around people who are into or against conspiracy theories and what have you. And especially now, there's a lot more talk about, the end of the world or not and what have you. And I imagine that in the course of bringing some of this stuff out, you're talking about some pretty revolutionary stuff, right? And about a really different way of living and being. Do you run into, you must, I'm sure, run into folks who must say like, oh, well, this doesn't sound right or whatever, if McDonald's is out there and legal, it's okay or what have you. It's not actually all killing us in the same way. Well, how do you speak to people about raising vibrations and other things like that, and perhaps convince the non-believers that you encounter?
Try it. Actually, so the man who wrote that about the Lion King is a far right conservative Christian, but when I first said try it, raises your vibration, he was like, I don't believe it, but I'll try it. And he tried it, and he became a believer, because next thing you know, he was working. He found himself working from home, and he was sitting at his desk, and then he ended up getting this like raised desk so he could stand up at his desk, and then he got an exercise bike and put it in front of his desk, and he was riding his exercise bike while he's typing it in, while he's working from his computer. So the best way is to try it. And I understand how some people can't receive the information of vibrations. But if you Google it, the reality is that you are made from stardust. When the Big Bang Theory happened, it's scientifically proven. Every human being is made from stardust. I'm not a scientist or physicist, but I can tell you basically what happened was the universe was this big ball of fire. It started cooling down. Matter started cooling down, became matter. That big ball of fire that first exploded was the lightest elements. Like, what is that? Helium? Yeah, helium, hydrogen, helium turned to hydrogen or something like that. I'm not a scientist, but what I can tell you is it completely makes sense, and you could Google it. It's scientifically proven that you are made of stardust. So if at one point our cells, the cells that were at the very beginning of the universe, were higher vibration, like helium and hydrogen, and were just higher up in the elemental periodic table of elements, then cooled, that means that you at some point can get to that higher state, that higher vibration. And
Nice.
again, the best way is for people to try it.
Just try it. Just do it. Feel it. Just feel it. You know it. I will say from experience and full disclosure, I have enjoyed this tea many times. That I know what he's talking about. I could feel it. When I did it, it absolutely changed a few directions in my life. Mostly just because I was able to suddenly, like, I started thinking about things differently. I saw things differently. I frankly valued myself and my health a little differently, a lot differently after all of that too. So let's switch gears for just a little bit. So, you got into doing this. Have you traditionally been a business person or someone who started business, or is this sort of a brand new venture for you?
This is a brand new venture for me. I've never actually been a business person, so I'm learning along the way. I honestly was still trying to figure out what is the name, how am I branding this, what is the image that I'm showing to the people, what is the story that I'm telling. And originally I had one story, which is 18 legendary herbs. And so I paid to get this trademarked. I paid the money, and then that was in the end of May 28th to be exact. And then a week ago, Friday, I learned that there is another company called Legendary Herbs in the same international class, not in the same, in a different international class, but they are medicinal herbs, and I was in herbs for food. I thought it was different. This is a mistake that I made, mistakes happen. And they were like, well, we're going to refuse it. You can fight it. And so it was either fight it, and who knows how deep that rabbit hole goes. Hire a lawyer for $500 because they start bugging you. They start sending you emails. And I decided to abandon. I was like, you know what? I'm not investing any more money in that. And so I came up with a new one, and I just took it, slapped it right in place. Herbs for Humanity. Voila. There's the name. Vibration Elevation. I don't know. It's not written in stone yet. I'm still dibbling and dabbling in the actual message and the story, which Owen's 30 Days to Freedom has been helping me to create my story and write that story out.
Awesome. Awesome. Let's get to that. Well, first of all, if you are just joining us, I am sitting here with Core Element, who is the creator of Herbs for Humanity, a special combination of herbs and a number of products, including a tea, which I highly recommend. That helps you to raise your vibration. And we're just talking about how he came into this, was not a business person before, and is now turning his mission into this to bring it out to other people. So you were just talking about some of the challenges, Corey, that you ran into with the trademark and what have you. What other things have you run into that have maybe you found you sort of fell naturally into in terms of starting a business, and what sort of unexpected hurdles and challenges might you have come across besides this trademark thing I know you just talked about?
What I have been noticing is how many people are dealing with either depression, sadness, not feeling their best. And as I talk to them, I notice that they're all experiencing the same thing, and most of it is their diet. They just have no idea how to eat, and so I found myself having to educate people on ways to eat. Like, actually, I'll tell you one of the quickest ways, if you want the quickest way for you to be able to shift your vibration like that within like a week, let's say a week. Let's say right now you're at home, you're listening to this, and you don't feel well. You feel like crap. And you're like, I know I should be able to feel better. Personally, I'm 43 years old, right? And I was at 40 feeling like, why do I have so little energy? Why am I so sad? Is this just it? And so I knew that there had to be a better way. You know, without chemicals, there had to be a better way. Finally, after everything that I've experienced, drinking the tea, and I drank a lot of this tea to get me to this vibration, to now where I feel full of energy. And what I just learned recently, which was a game changer, and I'm going to tell you for free, is the watermelon diet. Try 7 days of just eating watermelon. That's it. Organic watermelon. Got to be organic. And you're almost running out of time because it's almost going to be out of season. But just watermelon. If it's not going to be just watermelon, it should be just berries. If it's not going to be just berries, then it can be grape juice, which I heard grape juice is the best. And of course, I learned all of this from markjamesgordon.com. And a mono fruit. So those any mono fruit for 7 days, and you will notice an immense, immaculate amount of change in your energy just in 7 days. So
Sounds amazing. I have this fear that I will no longer like watermelon if I try that, in the same way that I cannot mix lemon and cayenne pepper together ever again after 10 days of the master cleanse. I'll tell you that. Well, maybe I'll give it a shot. Well, let's talk about this. So you mentioned this, and I was super happy to have you in the 30 Days to Freedom Challenge. Tell me a little bit about what your experience was in that, and how that might have helped you or guided you, or what you might have learned that has helped you to get your business set up, especially for somebody who has not been in a business owner before.
there is so much information that I don't know, and so it helped me to learn what I don't know. And that's how you know how smart you are, by knowing what you don't know. And so, one, what the heck is an avatar? Like, how do I identify my ideal client? What is that? How do I do that? Like, I know when I see them and I talk to them, for example, like people who are all buff and like exercise every day and they radiate energy, not my target client. People who are like, I can tell they're not at their best, that's my client. But how do I like segment that market even smaller so that I can identify like the best person for me, my marketing dollars to target, so that I effectively maximize my dollars. That's another thing that I learned in the 30-day challenge to freedom. What else? How to tell my story. Like, what exactly is my story, and actually I'm going through it again this time because there was just so much information in there that I didn't pick up the first time, because it's really chock full with information. And Facebook marketing, which is like, it might as well be Korean to me, or Chinese, or hieroglyphics, even better. Ancient Sanskrit.
Right? Probably to most people, it is a very tricky spot to be in. You had mentioned to me that you were in the process of writing a business plan when you got started, and I know that for me, the word business plan makes me, I don't know, it sends chills up my spine. I hate it. Like, it sounds like a dreadful task, and a lot of things. Tell me a bit about what your experience was, and how maybe it helped you through that process.
Well, actually, I'm going to be honest. Somebody gave me a business plan template, and it's still just a template. I have not written my business plan. I'll get to it. At this point right now, I'm just kind of like doing the foundational work. Like, I have so many ducks lined up. I have the product. I'm ready to ship. I have the manufacturer. I'm doing the sensical things. I'm just not up for writing the business plan yet. Sorry.
Gotcha. But you perhaps have more tools to do it now.
I have plenty of tools to do it. It's just the actual, like, there's so much to do when you're starting your own business. It's like having a baby. You don't get to sleep.
Awesome. If you're just joining us, I'm sitting here talking to Core Element, the founder of Herbs for Humanity. We're talking about how to raise your vibration through herbs, and also about just the perils and guidance and advice for starting your own business, especially when you haven't done it. And here, he's talking about his mission and how important it is to him, and how he's turning it around to bring it out to other people and taking that leap. So, yeah, I guess before we get started, I know that you have something that you wanted to share with us. I know you've got a song perhaps that you wanted to share with us as well. Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about?
Yes, I do have a song I wanted to share with you.
Okay. So before we get to that, we'll head out with that. So I just want to let you all know, thank you for coming by. We are going to kick off the next 30 Days to Freedom Challenge tomorrow. So if that is something that you want to be a part of, go to abundancehackers.life right now, and you'll be able to do that. But don't do it just yet, because I want to leave you with Mr. Element.
All right, so this is a song. Hold on, I'm gonna put my headphones on so I can hear a little bit better. And you can hear me. Ooh, I like the way that sounds. All right, so I'm gonna tell you a little bit about this. Song is called "Step Into Light." I wrote this in like 2015, and I've just been sitting on it because, let me explain this to you. This is actually so fitting, because when I wrote it, I felt like I was in a depression. I felt like something was clouding me, and I was like, okay, I wrote this, and I can't fully be present with it, even though I wrote it and I have the music and everything, and I couldn't go into the studio. And I'm not going to record this until I feel 100% present with it. And so now I do. And so I'm in the process of recording it and mixing it, and I hope that you like it. This is Step Into Light. Here we go. With everything that's going on, all I can say is, Lord, help us. We beg forgiveness. Give us a sign that you still walk with us. We wander in the darkness, forgot what's right. Please help us step in the light. So many of us drifted from the path that we lost, not attuned to the source of what some call a force. It's like people are strange. They live in these dreams where they have these beliefs but don't live what they mean. I feel alone like an angel that fell. There's gotta be a heaven, cause I'm living in hell. All I see is pain, anger, addiction, like demons control us from other dimensions, hiding in the shadows. Got us believing that we human doings, not human beings. What am I doing drinking this, me begging for help, cause it's polluting and diluting my connection to self. Just when I was on the brink of losing my sanity, a woman, maybe an angel, came and laid her hands on me and said, forgive him, Lord, for he know not what he do. Just help him remember, so we know in the truth that we all make the world what it is. Pick your perspective and that's what it is. Choose love, you don't have to fight. The shadows disappear when you step in the light. Step in the light, step in the light. The shadows disappear when you step in the light. So go ahead, free your demons, start living in light, so we could all see the future of the world turn bright. To be real, I always knew something was missing from life. I grew sedated, elated by seductive advice on living my life. But that advice was trite, cause it wasn't centered around the teachings of Christ and consciousness. What kind of mind is this to have faith that I can know what blind love is? That angel told me something in my heart I was stashed. Forgiveness is letting go of hope for a different past. I shed tears, releasing all I don't need. Then opened my eyes, and for once I could see. I was in a state of bliss where ain't nobody could touch. Never before in my life had I felt so much freedom from not loving myself. I dropped to my knees and joyfully wept. I'm sorry, I love you, please forgive what I do. And thank you for this lesson, letting me know the truth that we all make the world what it is. Pick your perspective and that's what it is. Choose love, you don't have to fight. The shadows disappear when you step in the light. Step in the light, step in the light. The shadows disappear when you step in the light. So go ahead, free your demons, start living in light, so we could all see the future of the world turn bright. So much to say, not enough time, but words can't truly describe the divine. And if I tried to tell you, it wouldn't make sense. So I can only hope to offer this glimpse. Imagine pleasure coming overwhelming with force, filling you with so much love it's like it come out your pores, filling up your spirit where your soul starts to soar, elated from the presence of your light from the source. You know that it's right. Don't focus on distractions, only focus on light. Since the beginning I've been living like the ending is coming, but believing in love is better than believing in nothing. I got my hand up, reaching for the divine, fully believing this prayer gives answer this time. We only human beings, but we battle this beast. We've had enough war, can we please have peace? Let me say it again, can we please have peace? Come on, say it with me, can we please have peace? Black, white, Asian, Christian, Muslim, and Jew. Forget who did what and what got done to who, cause you all make the world what it is. Pick your perspective and that's what it is. Choose love, you don't have to fight. The shadows disappear when you step in the light. Step in the light, step in the light. The shadows disappear when you step in the light. So go ahead, free your demons, start living in light, so we could all see the future of the world turn bright.
Woo!
Herbs for Humanity, check me out at www.locol.world, LOCOL.world. My Instagram is Core Element, KOR Element, and my Facebook, Core Element, KOR Element, and everything Core Element. Yeah. Thank you. Owen, thank you so much for having me here.
Oh my God, what an absolute pleasure. Well, let's do this again. Thank you for sharing. I really, really appreciate it. And I hope that you out there have enjoyed this. I hope you've learned a little bit about how to raise your vibration and even why it's important to do that in the first place. And again, the 30 Days to Freedom Challenge, giving you all the tools, coaching, and information that you need to create your new thriving online community around your products, your services, your mission. Kicks off again tomorrow, so we'd love to have you. I'll put links in the chat here. Go to abundancehackers.life,
30 days.
local.world. Let's crush it. Thank you, Core. Appreciate it, man. We'll talk to you again.
Peace.